Let the one open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the power in all our third eye. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyananda.
नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिव समारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरी पराशक्ति मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ललाटे त्रिपुण्ड्री नितिलकृत कस्तूरी तिलकः स्फुरन्मालाधार स्फुरितकटिकौपीनवसनः तदानो दुष्टारम् चिरसि फणिराजम् शशिकलाम् प्रदीपः सर्वेषाम् अरुणगिरि योगी विजयते. Program here from Adi Kailasa, Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya. With the blessings and guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, whom we lovingly call Swamiji, we have brought to you a virtual, educational, and devotional temple experience. In the times when temples are in a lockdown and many cannot see their temples or their favorite deities, Swamiji is bringing to the world the Kailasa's temples, where all the activities and all the rituals are offered to the deities there and are virtually shown to everyone. Here, in the Upasantikala of the day, we are going to offer the Rudrabhishekam to Sri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva. Today, let us get to know the sacred secrets here in Adi Kailasa about this sacred kshetra, and let's get to know about the deities that we are going to have the darshan of today. and also a little bit about the background and the procedure so that we have a deeper context in the rituals that are going to be performed. Having this context is the revival that Swamiji is doing for Kailasa. All the intimate details and all the procedures are personally officiated and micromanaged by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji. And he personally has done worship here with this Nithyanandeshwara. So let us get down to the story of this place, of this the great Kshetra. In this current life of Swamiji, driven by a vision, an avataric vision, where he saw a banyan tree. He had a vision where he saw that the two places, the two headquarters, where the mission of Swamiji will be thriving in the eastern hemisphere, it would be under the banyan tree, a banyan tree, Alamara. In Tamil it's called. And also in the western headquarters, in a city of bells. The first ashrama that was made by Swamiji in the city of Los Angeles in the United States of America was in a city known as Duarte, the city of bells. And here in Adi Kailasa, the city is there under the banyan tree. Finding this banyan tree, Swamiji had immediately got the land, got the place, and it was Paramashiva's will, because the very landowner was told in a vision from his Kulaguru, Paramashiva as Dakshinamurti, Sri Pratap, was told in that vision to give this very land to the sadhu that will come, to Swamiji. When Swamiji came, the land was presented to him, and so started the grand story of Adi Kailasa. The foremost, most primordial Kailasa, the source, the Mula, from where the whole story began. It is under this very tree that Swamiji had discovered that it is not a mere banyan tree like any other tree. And of course, a banyan tree is a very unique tree. Unlike other trees that have branches and grow tall, the banyan tree grows wide and covers a large area. From the branches, roots again come down, strengthen themselves, and the branches keep growing. A banyan tree can cover acres and acres of area. It is a very unique tree that is again and again quoted in our Shastras to be a very spiritual tree. Knowing this and seeing the vision, this very tree is a spiritual nerve center in the cosmos. Swamiji has revealed, and for everyone who has come here, it is an experience that this tree is not of this world alone. The banyan tree comes from various and is able to take people to various dimensions of the cosmos. It is a portal where anyone can come and experience the higher dimensions of the cosmos. When you are there, when you are moved from one plane of existence to the next, it is not like you are physically shifted anywhere, but the possibilities of your higher consciousness, the possibilities of your higher existence open up tremendously when anyone comes to Adi Kailasa. The banyan tree, its breathing space, Swamiji shares, is 25 kilometers in diameter. And in these 25 kilometers, Swamiji has envisioned a beautiful 7 prakara temple that has 7 gates that lead to the inner sanctum sanctorum, where the banyan tree is at the center. Here, under the banyan tree, Swamiji has unearthed a Swayambhu Linga. Paramashiva in the Agamas declares the tree and various stones can be worshipped as Paramashiva and installed as Paramashiva in a temple. But the unique thing about a Swayambhu is that Prakriti, existence, nature itself, gives forth a deity for one to worship. Many of the Shariras of divine incarnations or bodies of the divine incarnations remain as bodies or capsules of cosmic energy, where the cosmic energy is available as a garbha, as a consecrated source of life positive cosmic energy of consciousness. Meenakshi Devi's body is there under the Meenakshi Devi deity in the Meenakshi Amman Sundareshwara Swami's temple. And in Tirumala Tirupati, the deity itself is the very body of Venkateshwara. It is not a stone, it is a person, it is a body, a being. Here also, a Swayambhulinga that manifested here under the banyan tree, which is, as Swamiji also declares, the body of himself in a previous birth, is taken out of the banyan tree and kept in a Balalaya for all of the world to come and worship. This Swayambhu Nithyanandeshwara is a concentrated source of Paramashiva. Touching it is the same as touching Swamiji's body. Swamiji teaches that the same way anybody can have a physical darshan of Swamiji. Those who remember in the good old days when we were able to have the darshan of Swamiji, where we are able to receive the energy darshan when Swamiji awakens our third eye and puts us in a deep space of oneness. The same way, when we touch the body of Swamiji, we have such a darshan. And in the same way, if we touch the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Swayambhulinga, same energy transfer can happen. The same possibilities can happen. The linga or Paramashiva linga is a manifestation of the unmanifest and manifest forms of Paramashiva. Paramashiva exists as Sakala and Nishkala, meaning form and formless as well, manifest and unmanifest, the known and the unknown. When we connect to any deity, we can recognize its form as it's similar to ours as well. But they are made with the Samudrika Lakshana, with the most beautiful proportions that entice and they take us to a next level of existence. That is why the very back of the deity is straight and the deity is always smiling in a pleasant mood, in a pleasant way of expression. All these Angalakshanas are there in the Shilpa Shastras, and deities are molded and created this way. But the unique thing in Shaivism, that is the Shivalinga, it doesn't have those particular Angalakshanas that are there for a physical deity that has a humanoid or human-like body. A Shivalinga is a manifestation of the supreme cosmic infinite shaft that is Paramashiva, shaft of pure effulgence of light. That is what the Shivalinga is. It is the manifestation of our highest possibility. It is not something that is without, it is something that is within, something that is our very being, our highest potential. And that is what the Shivalinga represents. For those who do not know how to connect with the Shivalinga, this is a method and a technique that anybody can understand. Because my Guru says this Shivalinga is real. Therefore, if he says and is telling the truth, then therefore I can also experience this Shiva to be real. Then let me pray to this Shiva and say, please become real to me. Please show me the path. Please help me to see you. I want to know you. This simple, sincere approach to Paramashiva is really something that will really move the cosmos. As the Shastras say, that Paramashiva does not move simply just like that. He moves for the devotion of the devotee. When we approach him, when we approach the cosmos itself, it manifests in our life in the way it is supposed to, in the way we want to, when we just need a sincere approach. Here also in the temple, there is a large deity of Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva, Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti, residing behind the Paramashiva Linga, Nithyanandeshwara. A magnificent deity which Swamiji took time and personal care and attention to ensure that it was perfect to the divine visions that he himself had as Paramashiva. We all know that Paramashiva lived with Swamiji when he was a small boy. 9 months, Swamiji had experienced in and out, day in and day out, living with Shiva himself. And in those moments, Swamiji experienced the highest oneness. Same experience we are getting from our own Swamiji. Remembering those intimate moments and remembering the way that Paramashiva's body language itself manifested, Swamiji created the deity of Nithyanandeshwara. So when we are seeing Nithyanandeshwara, we are seeing our own Paramaguru, Arunagiri Yogishwara himself. When we are seeing Nithyanandeshwara's face, we are seeing the same expression of Paramashiva that Swamiji saw in Arunagiri Yogishwara. Is him, is Paramashiva. And of course, Swamiji had a divine vision of Parashakti, Saraswati in Badrinath, and same Devi he had made as Nithyanandeshwari, seated on Nithyanandeshwara's lap. Seeing both of them is seeing cosmic oneness, the first Guru, first disciple, our very own potential, at the lap and on the lap of our Guru, of Swamiji. It is in this very intimate setting that Paramashiva, in many years ago, sat under this very banyan tree, taught the Kamikagamas and all the Shastras to Devi Parashakti. That same energy and that same passiveness that Devi Parashakti had, that spiritual vibrance that they had in that communion, is very much there in the very air of Adi Kailasa. All the birds, trees, animals that live here celebrate this place like none other, because this place radiates and ebbs Paramashiva. Swamiji calls this place a spiritual incubator. Like how an incubator is an outside source that provides nourishment and health and food for the child, in the same way, Adi Kailasa is a spiritual incubator where somebody can reside, and all the nourishment, the spiritual nourishment, the powerful cognitions, the depth of energy darshan, and the very land will help you to live a spiritual life. Whether you're here by mistake or you're here on purpose, you will be experiencing the truth of this place. We can go on singing the glories of Adi Kailasa, but let us get to know what we are going to get ready for today. It is the Rudrabhisheka Seva. Nithyanandeshwara, Paramashiva, is the Abhisheka Priya, the one who loves a constant onpour of the cleansing waters of Ganga. Hence Ganga is residing on his head, and constantly he is in the shower of her waters. Same way, rituals are designed by the rishis and by Paramashiva himself, guided in the Kamika Agamas, to give us the same experience that Paramashiva has. Mirroring neurons is a science of Pratyaksha Pramana of the recent scientific understandings, where when one sees a person swimming, the same neurological input that somebody is experiencing while swimming comes into their mind. The same neurons or the nerves that are there inside the brain, the cells of the brain, experience or are triggered the same sensations as one sees, as one experiences when one's swimming. This is the science of mirroring neurons. The same way, when we see the deity, when we see the Abhishekam of the deity, the ongoing cleansing is mirrored inside our head. That is why the Abhisheka Seva is a very unique Seva, where the continuous cleansing and putting yourself into your powerful cognitions and continuous rejuvenation that Paramashiva represents is something that is what is witnessed during Abhishekam and is something that is inside us subtly also happening. When we see the Abhishekam, where the pouring of the waters and the various essences of milk and curds are offered onto the Shivalinga, the same kind of cleansing happens to us, and we are awakened again to the highest potential of ourselves, the Paramashiva that exists within us. We begin by chanting the Rudranyasa of the Rudrabhishekam. Rudra is a very ferocious and excellent form of Paramashiva, who is known in the Vedas as the one who has the Hiranyabaha, golden shoulders, and who has a beautiful form, and is described again and again in the Vedas, in the Namaka and Chamaka Prashnas, where it is described, it describes the various glories and the forms of Paramashiva, and we surrender our I and mine onto him, followed by positive affirmations of manifestations that people should have in their lives, wealth, glorious wealth. This is the description of the Namaka and Chamaka Prashna. But the Rudranyasa is a way of visualizing ourselves as that Paramashiva, as that cosmic energy in form. So various parts of the body are touched and rejuvenated and mirrored to Paramashiva's very energy. In the Agamas, Paramashiva clearly says that unless you are in oneness with Paramashiva, unless you have envisioned yourself as Paramashiva, truly then only you are ready to worship Paramashiva. Until then, you are not qualified. So, in the same way, we make the declarations before the ritual to establish strong context. We'll now declare them, and when you agree, please say yes loudly after each declaration. First is the understanding that cosmic energy exists, that beyond my body and mind, there is something that exists in this cosmos, and that is intelligent. That is the miracle with which the whole cosmos functions. Everything is functioning in such a beautiful order. How is it possible? That wonder that we see in children's eyes, we reinstill that wonder when we declare this, that cosmic energy exists. So let us make the first declaration. Please say yes after the following statement. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth. Cosmic energy exists. Yes. The next declaration is declaring the divinity, that cosmical intelligence is there, present before me in the form of the deity. The deity is an embodiment and representation of that very cosmic energy. In Sanskrit, it is known as the Chinmaya Vigraha. Chinmaya meaning cosmic intelligence. That deity is there before me. The declaration must be made so that we have a context that we are not worshipping a metal or a stone. Rather, we are worshipping a living representation of cosmos, a really living manifestation of cosmic energy. Swamiji teaches us that we don't worship idols, we worship through idols. We don't say, oh stone, give me liberation. We say, oh Krishna, give me liberation. So with this context, we make the second declaration. Please say yes loudly after the statement. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva and Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti are the Chinmaya Vigrahas, the embodiment and representation of that very cosmic energy. Yes. The third declaration is about the ritual. It is through the ritual that our prayers, intentions are received by the cosmos. It is very important to understand it is our intention that is received. We may be asking for one thing, but our intent might be something else. It is very important to know our intentions. Swamiji has beautifully defined the Kalpataru program to clarify to ourselves what it is our purpose of life is, what it is that we truly seek, and how, by trying to seek that, we do many nonsenses in our life that guide us not to fulfillment, but to more discontentment. That is why it's very important to know what our intentions are. And in Hinduism, we chant the Sankalpa that declares truly the best intentions, the most auspicious intentions to manifest in our lives. So let us take the Sankalpa for all the best intentions to manifest through the ritual of Rudrabhishekam. Specifically in this time, when COVID is rampant, many people are uncertain, fear of death, uncertainty about career, and the whole world is in a collapse. These moments, it is best to resort to being in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, in the space of unclutchedness, and in that space, make the most powerful cognitions. So let us make the third declaration. If you agree, please say yes loudly. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth that whatever I offer, Rudrabhishekam, will reach the cosmic source of energy directly. Yes. And the fourth final declaration that we make is of the highest truth that is revealed by the Vedas and the Upanishads. Soham asmi, which means I am him. This is an underbreath of the entire Hindu civilization. When we declare this, we are recognizing the ultimate truth, ultimate goal of oneness with Paramashiva. That we are not inferior. Swamiji teaches us that we are not inferior to the deities, but we are in same level. We are in oneness with them. That is the goal. That is where we want to be, ultimately. Let us make the fourth declaration. If you agree, please say yes loudly. I authentically cognize, which is internally process, understand, and declare the truth of Sohamasmi, that even when I worship, I am him. Yes. With a beautiful context that is shared and understood in these declarations, let us get ready to have the darshan of Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva. With the same eyes that cherish the darshan of Paramashiva in the Bhava Samadhi darshan, today, beautifully, Swamiji has come in the Bhava Samadhi darshan of Venkateshwara. The same eyes that are cleansed and that drink the nectar of those darshans. Let us invoke those same eyes and chant the Mahavakya. A Mahavakya is given to the world by Swamiji, is a powerful mantra, a measure of syllables, of divine syllables that instill us the very space that we are chanting, the space of oneness with Paramashiva, of Paramashivoham. Close your eyes. Inhale and exhale as deeply as possible and as slowly as possible. Chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
राजसुता परिष्कृत चारुवामकलेबरम् श्वेलनीलगलं परश्वधधारिणं मृगधारिणम् श्वेलनीलगलं परश्वधधारिणं मृगधारिणम्
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिव समारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरी पराशक्ति मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ललाटे त्रिपुण्ड्री निटिलकृतकस्तूरी तिलकः स्फुरन्मालाधारस्फुरितकटिकौपीनवसनः दधानो दुस्तारं शिरसि फनिराजं शशिकलाम् प्रदीपः सर्वेषाम् अरुणगिरियोगी विजयते। अस्य श्रीरुद्राध्याय प्रश्नमहामन्त्रस्य
अघोर ऋषिः अनुष्टुप्छन्दः शङ्कर्षणमूर्तिस्वरूपो योऽसावादित्यः परमपुरुषः स एष रुद्रो देवता। नमः शिवायेति बीजम् शिवतरायेति शक्तिः महादेवायेति कीलकम् श्रीसाम्ब सदाशिवप्रसाद सिद्ध्यर्थे जपे विनियोगः। अग्निहोत्रात्मने अंगुष्टाभ्यां नमः दर्शपूर्णमाशात्मने तर्जनीभ्यां नमः चातुर्मास्यात्मने मध्यमाभ्यां नमः निरोढपशुबन्धामग्ने अनामिकाभ्यां नमः ज्योतिष्ठोमात्मने कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः सर्वकृत्वात्मने करतलकरपृष्ठाभ्यां नमः अग्निहोत्रात्मने हृदयाय नमः दर्शपूर्णमाशात्मने शिरसे स्वाहा चातुर्मास्यात्मने शिखाये वषट् निरोढपशुबन्धात्मने कवचाय हुं ज्योतिष्ठोमात्मने नेत्रत्रयाय वौषट् सर्वकृत्वात्मने अस्त्राय फट् भूर्भुवस्सुवरोमिति दिग्बन्धः। ध्यानम् पूर्णेन्दुवातामृतैः अस्तोकाप्लुतमेकमीशमनिशं रुद्रानुवाकान् जपन् ध्यायेदीप्सितसिद्धये द्रुपदं विप्रोऽपि शिञ्चेच्छिवम् ब्रह्माण्डव्याप्तदेहावसितं रुचा भासमाना भुजङ्गैः कण्ठे कालाकबर्धा कलितशशिकलाश्चन्दकोदण्डहस्ताः त्रक्षा रुद्राक्षमाला प्रकटितविभवा शाम्भवा मूर्तिभेदाः रुद्राः श्रीरुद्रसूक्तप्रकटितविभवा न प्रयच्छन्तु सौख्यम्। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुम् अवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः।
शं च मे मयश्च मे
प्रियं च मे नु कामश्च मे सौमनसश्च मे भद्रं च मे श्रेयश्च मे वस्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणं च मे यन्ता च मे धर्ता च मे
क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे
विश्वं च मे महच्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रं च मे सोश्च मे प्रसूश्च मे सीरं च मे लयश्च मृतं च मे मृतं च मे यक्ष्मं च मे
नामयच्च मे
जीवादुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वं च मे न मित्रं च मे भयं च मे सुगं च मे शयनं च मे सूसा च मे सुदिनं च मे।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय। ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यवहुतो तैषवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुदते नमः। या तैषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते तनुः। शिवा शरव्या यादवतया नो रुद्रमृडया। या ते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी। तया नस्तनुवाशन्तमया गिरिशन्तापि चाकशीः। यामिषुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्षस्तवे। शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत्। शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छावधामसि। यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगद यक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत्। अद्य वोचदति वक्ताः प्रथमो देव्योऽभिषक्। अहेगश्च सर्वा आञ्जम्भयन् सर्वा आश्च यातु धान्यः। असो यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः। ये क्षेमागुं रुद्रा अपितो दिक्षु श्रुता सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेड ईमहे।
असौ व्योपसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः।
उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः। उतैनं विश्वा भूतानि स दृष्टो मृडयातिनः। नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीडुषे। अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः। प्रमुञ्चदन्वनस्तुमुभयोरार्तियोर्जा।
याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवो वप। अपतत्यधनुस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्षुषते शुधे। निशीर्य शल्यानामुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव। विद्यं धनुः कपर्तिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उत। अनेषन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः। या ते हेतिर्मीढुष्टमहस्ते बभूवते धनुः। तयास्मान् विश्वदस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुज। नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधायानातताय धृष्णवे। उभाभ्यामुतते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने। परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः। अथो य इषुधिस्तवारे
अस्मन्निदेहितम् शम्भवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय
नीलकण्ठाय
नित्यानन्दाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। नमो हिरण्यबाहवे सेनान्ये दिशां च पतये। नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां
पतये नमो नमः।
सस्पिञ्जराय द्विषीमते पत्तीनां पतये। नमो नमो बभ्लुषाय विव्याधिनेन्नानां पतये। नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पतये। नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्ये
जगतां पतये नमो नमो। रुद्राय तताविने क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः। स्तोताय हञ्चाय वनानां पतये नमो नमो। रोहिताय स्थपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो। मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो। भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृताय औषधीनां पतये नमो नम। उच्चैर्घोषाय क्रन्दयते बद्धीनां पतये नमो नमः। कृष्णवीताय धावते सत्वरां पतये नमः। नमः सहमानाय निव्याधिन आव्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः। ककुभाय निषङ्गिणे सेनानां पतये नमो नमो। निषङ्गिण इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो। वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्तायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचैरवे परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमस्त्रिकाविभ्यो जिघागुंसद्भ्यो मुष्णताम् पतये नमो नमोऽसि मध्यो नक्तं चरद्भ्यः प्रकृन्तानां पतये नमो नम उष्णीषिणे गिरिचराय कुलुञ्जानां पतये नमो नम ईशमध्यो धन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नम आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नम आयच्छद्भ्यो विसृजद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमोऽस्यद्भ्यो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नम आसीनेभ्यश्च यानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नम स्वभ्यो जाग्रद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नम तिष्ठद्भ्यो धावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो नम आव्याधिनीभ्यो विविध्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नम उगनाभ्यस्त्रिगुंहतेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथिभ्यो रथेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रुभ्यः सङ्गृहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः तक्षभ्यो रथखारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पितृभ्यो धन्वकृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यः स्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः श्वभ्यश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च सितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च चिपिविष्टाय च नमो मीढुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो ओह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृध्वने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे चाजिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च सीभ्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय च वस्वन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगल्भाय च नमो जगन्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमः सोऽभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय च अवसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्षाय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय चासुरथाय च नमः सूराय चावभिन्दते च नमो वर्मिने च वरूथिने च नमो बिल्लिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च ॐ धूरसि धूर्वधूर्वन्दं धूर्वदञ्योऽस्मान् धूर्वदितं धूर्वयं वयं धूर्वामः श्री नित्यानन्देश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवाय नमः धूपमाघ्रापयामि ॐ साज्यं त्रिवर्ति संयुक्तं वह्निना योजितं मया ग्रहाणमङ्गलं दीपं त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापहं दीपं दर्शयामि ॐ अमृते अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणी अमृतं श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा अमृतं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यानन्तरमाचमनं समर्पयामि ॐ तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्न शिव प्रचोदयात् मङ्गलनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षान् धारयामि
वैभवं भुवनेश्वरम् अन्धकान्तकमाश्रितावरपादवं समनान्तकम् अन्धकान्तकमाश्रितावरपादवं समनान्तकम् नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै यमः नित्यानन्दम् आश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै यमः नित्यानन्दम् ईश्वरं सर्वपापविनाशनम् नित्यानन्दम् ईश्वरं सर्वपापविनाशनम्
being offered to him. Nithyanandam. So we just had the darshan of Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva, Rudrabhishekam offered to him. Darshan is an experience of tremendous energy. It is the closest and almost most grossest way, means most physical way of being able to perceive cosmic energy, being able to perceive Paramashiva itself. When Swamiji gives the energy darshans, the Bhava Samadhi darshans, it is literally those very particles of that very cosmic energy, that very manifestation of cosmic energy is being seen and experienced. When you create the ambience around you, when you see these darshans, the gandham, the sugandham of the scented incense around you, when you light the ghee lamp, when you have the fragrant flowers to be offered to Paramashiva, the scent of smell is given the highest experience to be able to receive darshan. That is why in temples, dhupa, the incense, and the deepa, the ghee lamps that radiate a unique smell are lit. Then the very deity's ability, the form of the deity is the sight to see. Darshan is not just a one-dimensional experience. It is experience literally in length, breadth, depth, space and time, in a coincidence of all of these. It is a moment in time when everything almost collapses and from where everything comes from. Darshan, especially getting our eyes ready. Our eyes have a subtle movements that indicate the restlessness that we experience inside our minds. When we see the sunset, when we see the raw element, maybe fire, maybe if you're going out into a camp, you see the bonfire before you, or in the Homa Agnikunda, you see the fire before you, or when you see the beautiful nature, a beautiful mountain. These things are literally larger than life, and we are not used to seeing these things every day. The mind exists, and the inner chatter exists when it comprehends small things, the regular routine things in life. But when the unexplainable or the magnificence of the cosmos is perceived, something larger than the mind, then it's a day-to-day routine or day-to-day things that it's used to, something more than that is experienced. And when the sight is opened, when the eyes become big, immediately the jaw drops in an ability to take in more oxygen. Sorry for the technical glitch. As we were saying, darshan is a moment in time, a moment in the cosmos, happening that is unlike any other. And you can have this again and again and again and again. And that is the beauty of the Hindu tradition, and specifically the temple science. It is why people come again and again to see the deities in the temple. Just like how an adventurer wants to see the wonders of the nature, how the astronomist wants to see the wonders in the sky, or how a cinema goer would want to see the experience of the cinema in the cinema theater. Whatever it may be, we're always seeking something that is larger than us, larger than life. And that experience puts us, instills the mind, and gives us something more to see. It is in that very same context that people go and see the darshan of the deity in the temple. To see the deity is their daily food for the mind, food for the soul. And every day morning, having that darshan, having the sight, and seeing the deity, offering our worship, and being in the place where the sounds of Vedas are chanted, is the most sanctified. The stone temples form echo chambers, literally, where the sounds of the Veda mantras are hidden against the walls and reflected back into our ears over and over again, resounding the sacred syllables of Sanskrit and giving us experience of deep stillness of those Veda mantras. Let us get ready to see the darshan of Nithyanandeshwara, where now we will be offering various upacharas, offerings at his divine lotus feet, at the divine lotus feet of Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti, Samet Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva. Stay tuned for a few more moments. Nithyananda.
ॐ सोमो वा एतस्य राज्यमाधत्ते यो राजासन् राज्यो वा सोमे नेजिते देवसुवामेतानि हवीगुंसि भवन्ति यच्छन्ति तयेन पुनः सुवन्ते राज्याय देवसुराजा भवति। श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमेश्वराय नमः। नीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षां धारयामि। द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रं नीललोहिता येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनां माभेर्मा रोमो येषां किं च नामवत् या ते रुद्रशिवा तनो शिवा विश्वाह भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तया नो मृडजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तपसे कवर्तिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रभरामहे मतिम् यथा न श्रमशद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वम् पुष्टम् ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरम् मृडानो रुद्रोतनो मयस्कृति क्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते। यच्चं च यो चयमनुरायजे पिता तदस्यामतवरुद्र प्रणीतो मानो महान्तमुतमानो अर्भकम् मान उक्षन्तमुतमान उक्षितम् मानो वदीः पितरम् मोतमातरम् प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तोकेतन ये मान आयुषिमानो गोषुमानो अश्वेषुरीरिषः वीरान्मानो रुद्रभामितो वदीर्हविस्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते। आरार्ते गोग्नौ तपूरुषग्ने क्षयद्वीराय सुम्नमस्मेते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधिशदेव ब्रूक्ष्यदा च नः शर्म यच्छद्विपर्हाः स्तुहि श्रुतम् गर्तसदन्युवानम् मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम् मृडा चरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निवपन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्तु परित्वेषस्य धुर्मतिरघायोः अवस्थिरामगवद्भ्यस्तनुष्वमीढ्वस्तोकायतनयाय मृडय मीडुष्टमशिवतमशिवो नः सुमना भव परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निदाय कृत्तिम् वसान आचर पिनाकम् बिभ्रदागहि विगिरित विलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्रगुम् हेतयोम्यमस्मन्निवपन्तुताः सहस्राणि सहस्रदा बाहुवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवः पराचीनामुकाकृति सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्याम् ते साकुम् सहस्रयोजने वधन्वा निदन्मसि अस्मिन् महत्यर्णवेन्तरिक्षे भवाधि नीलग्रीवासिदिकण्ठाः सर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवासिदिकण्ठादिवगुम् रुद्रा उपश्रिताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासक्कवर्तिनः ये अन्येषु विविद्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान् ये पताम्बतिरक्षय ऐलवृताय व्युतः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति सुगावन्दो निषङ्गिनः ये एतावन्दस्य भूयागुन्दस्य दिशो रुद्राविदस्थिरे ते सागुम् सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्याम् ये एन्तरिक्षे ये दिवि येषामन्नम् वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीर्दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचीर्दशोदीचीर्दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयन्तु देयन् विष्णो यच्च नोत्तेष्टितम् भोजम् वेदधामि त्र्यम्बकम् यजामहे सुगन्धिम् पुष्टिवर्धनम् ऊर्वारुकव्यबन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नौ यो अप्सुय ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वाभुवना विवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु तमुष्टु हि यस्विषस्तु धन्वायो विश्वस्य क्षयति भेषदस्य यक्ष्वा महेशौ मनसाय रुद्रम् नमोभिर्देवमसुरन्दवस्य अयम् मे हस्तो भगवान् अयम् मे भगवत्तरः अयम् मे विश्वभेषजोजगुम् शिवाभिमर्षणः एते सहस्रमयुतम् पाशावृत्योपत्याय हन्तवे तान्यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानवयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि प्राणानाम् ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्नेन आप्यायस्व नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि सदाशिवोम् ॐ अग्ना विष्णो सजोषसेमा वर्धन्तु वाङ्गिरः द्युम्नैर्वाजेभिरागतम् वाजश्च मे प्रसवश्च मे प्रयतिश्च मे प्रसिद्धिश्च मे धीतिश्च मे क्रतुश्च मे स्वरश्च मे श्लोकश्च मे श्रावश्च मे श्रुतिश्च मे ज्योतिश्च मे सुवश्च मे प्राणश्च मे पानश्च मे व्यानश्च मे शुश्च मे चित्तञ्च आधीतञ्च मे वाक्च मे मनञ्च मे चक्षुश्च मे श्रोतम् च मे दक्षश्च मे बलञ्च म ओजश्च मे सहश्च म आयुश्च मे जरा च म आत्मा च मे तनुश्च मे शर्म च मे वर्म च मेऽङ्गानि च मे स्थानि च मे परोगुम् शरीराणि च मे ज्येष्ठम् च म आधिपत्यम् च मे मन्युश्च मे वामश्च मेऽम्भश्च मेऽम्भश्च मे जयिमा च मे महिमा च मे वरिमा च मे वधिमा च मे द्राघुया च मे वृद्धम् च मे वृद्धिश्च मे सत्यम् च मे श्रद्धा च मे जगच्च मे धनम् च मे कृतिश्च मे क्रीडा च मे मोदश्च मे जातम् च मे जनिष्यमानम् च मे सूक्तम् च मे सुकृतम् च मे वित्तम् च मे वेद्यम् च मे भूतम् च मे भविष्यच्च मे सुगम् च मे सुपतम् च मरुद्धम् च मरुद्धिश्च मे क्लुप्तम् च मे क्लुप्तिश्च मे मतिश्च मे सुमतिश्च मे मोक्षं च मे
मयश्च मे प्रियं च मेऽनुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सौमनसश्च मे भद्रं च मे श्रेयश्च मे वच्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे
द्रविणं च मे
यन्ता च मे दत्ता च मे क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वं च मे महच्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रं च मे सूच्च मे पृथुश्च मे
तीरं च मे
लयश्च मरुदं च मे मृदं च मे यक्ष्मं च मे नामयच्च मे जीवादुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वं च मे न मित्रं च मे वयं च मे सुखं च मे सैनं च मे सूसा च मे सुदिनं च मे ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसंयसाहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे स मे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः
ॐ सोमो वा
एतस्य राज्यमादत्ते यो राजासन् राज्यो वा सोमेन यजते देवसु वा मेधानि हवीगुंसि भवन्ति य एतावन्तो वै देवानागुंसवाः त एवास्मै सवान् प्रयच्छन्ति तयेन पुनः सुवन्ते राज्याय देवसु राजा भवति
नित्यानन्देश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवाय नमः मङ्गलनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षान् धारयामि ॐ दशाङ्गं
गुरुकुलोपेतं सुगन्धं च सुमनोहरम् आग्रेयः सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं हृदि गृह्यताम् धूपमाघ्रापयामि
ओमुद्दीप्य स्वजातवेदोपग्नं
पग्नं मम पशुगुह्यमह्यमावह जीवनं च दिशो दश मानो हिगुंसीर्जातवेदो कामस्त्वं पुरुषं जगत् अभिद्रदग्नाकैः श्रियामा परिपादय
दीपं दर्शयामि अथ नैवेद्यम्
ॐ अमृते अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणि अमृतं श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा
अमृतं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यानन्तरमाचमनं समर्पयामि सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकम् नेमा विद्युतो भान्तिकुटोऽयमग्निः तमेव बान्धमनुभाति सर्वम् तस्य भाषा सर्वमिदम् विभाति। श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिवाय नमः। सर्वोपचारार्थे सर्वमंगलवाप्यर्थे सर्वापराधक्षमापणार्थे महामंगल नीराजनं संदर्शयामि रक्षान् धारयामि। बृहत्सामक्षतवृष्टिं दृष्टिभौतशुभितमुग्रवीरम् इन्द्रसोमेन पञ्चदशेन मध्यमितं वातेन सकरेण रक्षान् धारयामि। ॐ योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् वसुमान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् वसुमान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। ॐ तद्ब्रह्मा ॐ तद्वायुः ॐ तदात्मा ॐ तत्सत्यम् ॐ तत्सर्वम् ॐ तत्पुरोर्नमः। अन्तश्चरति भूतेषु गुहायां विश्वमूर्तिषु त्वं यज्ञस्त्वं वषट्कारस्त्वमिन्द्रस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं ब्रह्मत्वं प्रजापतिः त्वं तदाप आपो ज्योतिरसोऽमृतं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्सुवरो यो वेदादो स्वर प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः। वेदोक्तमन्त्रोष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि। मङ्गलं कल्पवृक्षाय मङ्गलं ज्ञानदायिने सदाशिवाय श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वराय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलं श्रीविद्याम्बायै मङ्गलं कामदायिन्ये सर्वमङ्गलदात्री नित्यानन्देश्वर्यै मङ्गलम् मङ्गलं गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मङ्गलम् परावतार नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे मङ्गलम्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। सर्वं भगवत् श्री नित्यानन्द परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु। ॐ नित्यानन्दम्।